After my last video covering everything that you needed to know about charging on the Pixel 8 Pro, I got some questions specifically about the Qi wireless charging and about whether or not certain Qi chargers would work and why Google has locked 23-watt wireless charging behind the kind of paywall of purchasing a Pixel stand. I want to take you guys into some of the Qi wireless chargers I'm using right now and answer that question. So over here, you guys can see I have a variety of different Qi wireless chargers, right? This is a 2-port Qi wireless charger at 15 watts. This is my oldest Nokia charger. This is a 5-watt charger. I've had this one since I had my Nokia Lumia series of devices. This was like a freebie thing if you were an early buyer of it. This is a 15-watt wireless charger, and then this is Xiaomi's either 20-watt or 30-watt wireless charger. Now, I bring all of these chargers up because you see that out of all of them, none of them feature active cooling except for Xiaomi's charger. Now, active cooling really wasn't an issue back when we were only using 5-watt wireless charging pucks. The amount of energy that was trying to be transmitted wirelessly, not that high, thus thermals not that big of a concern. We've since graduated up to 10-watt Qi wireless charging, and through that, now devices have to kind of communicate their thermal status with the Qi wireless charger so that they don't get them too hot. Now we have EPP, the extended power profile. It's what Samsung uses for Samsung's super fast wireless charging, and Google has adopted some of that, but they're capping you at 12 watts. Seems odd, right? Well, Google has gone out of their way to really try to exert as much control as possible over their devices. And we see that the reason that Google is doing this is the same reason that Oppo and BBK are doing this. Xiaomi is doing this. Essentially, all of the other brands that have their own proprietary wireless charging standard that isn't Qi wireless charging, all of those stands incorporate fans, right? As you guys can see in the Xiaomi Qi wireless charger. And it's got an active cooling fan. When I put my phone on it, it turns on and you can feel the air being blown out or sucked in. But you can feel the air moving around the phone. And sometimes, especially when I used to live in Vietnam, this wireless charger would charge faster than other chargers I had. And a part of that has to do with the fact that because it's being actively cooled, as well as having a certain amount of separation between the actual charging pad and the phone, air can circulate between them. Because without some type of active cooling, essentially what you're doing is you're baking your battery. Let me show you. So in a standard Qi wireless charger like this, right, we have the coil sitting in the back here, and it's sitting flat up against our phone. Now, inherently, there's nothing wrong with this. In fact, some of these stands, like this one in particular, is all aluminum. It acts as a big heat sink, and you can feel the whole stand getting warm. That said, we're not being as efficient as possible, right? Because we're asking the phone to regulate the temperature that it's at through throttling the amount of power it's asking for from the wireless charger, right? As you guys can see with the Xiaomi wireless charger, we have a nice little gap between where the phone sits, the charging cable, and in this little gap here, air is being circulated to go ahead and cool the phone. This is so that the phone doesn't have to regulate the temperature as much as the actual wireless charging stand. So the reality is that even if Google gave us the full 15 watts over EPP, the extended power protocol, like what Samsung has, we would have to be ensuring essentially that all of the 15-watt wireless charging stands that we use have some kind of active cooling. Otherwise, people are going to complain about inconsistent charging times, slow charging times, the device getting too hot, battery longevity being compromised, because one of the number one things that compromises battery longevity is actually holding your device at a high state of charge as well as heat. Heat is essentially the killer of batteries, or letting your batteries get outside of an optimum operating temperature. I know that batteries don't want to get too hot, and if you live in certain parts of America right now and have an electric car and it's frozen outside, you would know that batteries don't like to operate in super cold weather. So essentially what Google is doing by limiting our charging with 12 watts with this charger, or 12 watts with this charger, right, is Google is trying to protect us essentially from cooking our own batteries, shortening the overall battery life of your product. And when people use products like this, okay, this is a MagSafe, right, wireless charger. It's a battery charging brick, right? And I have some MagSafe adapters that will go ahead and stick it to the back of my phone. The problem with that is that now you're essentially cooking your battery and you have three sources of heat. As the battery inside of the charging pack discharges, it's going to create heat. On the back side of the wireless charger, on the cables or the coils that we have, this is going to also create heat. And then on the cell phone itself, you have copper coils behind the back of it. Those are going to get warm from accepting charge, and your battery is going to start to get warm as well because it's being charged. So using something like one of these MagSafe battery banks is probably one of the worst, most inefficient ways to charge your phone, and you're shortening the overall battery health of your device. When you use stuff like this, you're actually getting less than 10,000 milliamp hours if it's a 10,000 milliamp hour pack like this, because so much energy is being lost in the wireless transmission. If you want to utilize MagSafe and you want to use it to charge your phone, one thing that I've done is I have these really, really short cables from Cable Creations, and I'll leave a link and show you guys, but they make really nice quality short USB cables for charging, and I'll just stick this to the back of my phone and then plug it in manually, and I notice not only does the device charge faster, it stays cooler. I can use the device while it's charging with very little to no negative impact on the overall device performance, and ultimately it's just a better solution. So if you're wondering why Google is locking the ultra fast wireless charging for the Google specific wireless charger, unfortunately it's because the technology hasn't developed to this point of Qi 2, where we have magnets but we don't have any kind of active cooling. Peace.